I think that what the school has been doing this year, using the fifth grade as the sort of model and working through the kids, is a really fabulous way, because I think when information comes to us from those students that we are serving, I think it's helpful. And I feel that when the students are also the voice for the portrait of a graduate, it's far for their students. Parents are going to listen to what their children come home and tell them, more so than a letter that I can send home as a building principal. And so I really feel like that having the kids be the ones that are really spearheading it is really pivotal to the success.
Graduate is a vision of what we want to know and do before they graduate, and even after they graduate.
Humanity is understanding how my actions will impact others.
Learning is like to developing a personal definition of success.
A community is a group of people that work together to build something.
Wellness is taking care of your body and mind, spirit, and others.
Resourcefulness is taking care of the resources that help me and others.
Responsibility is owning up for your actions.
One way we talked about wellness was at the start of the year, we all had to, every time we saw somebody, we said something nice about them, and then we did that for the rest of the day, and then a lot of times we just go around saying nice things.
We learned about at Starbase, we were learning a lot about technology and how phone calls used to work a long time ago and all the systems they used to use, and I feel like it was a really good experience for us to learn about.
So one way of demonstrating responsibility is you could stay, let's say you could stay after lunch to clean your teacher's classroom. That's what I did. Or you could also help out the school and stuff by going outside and picking up trash and other rubbish that's outside.
One of the resources I learned to use this year is Canva. And Canva is really helpful because you can make a lot of projects. And we made funny projects, cool projects, realistic projects. I made a video on Hindu gods, and it was really helpful. Wherever I searched up, they had 20 pictures of that thing, and it was really helpful.
It is about what you want to be, and you share things with other people. So we used Canva to make all about me lit videos, and I made it about who I want to be when I grow up, what I want to do, like football. Football is one sport that I want to play when I grow up.
One way we talked about community is we did a project in science about constellations, and we had fourth grade come down and we told them all about our constellations. What I did for the constellations, I did Aquarius. And the fourth graders came down, and then they asked us questions about the constellations, and then they asked us some kids asked us questions about fifth grade.
How do you feel being the parts of into your classroom?
Like I did more of it this year than any years prior. We talked a lot about responsibility, being responsible for the classroom and each other, and taking care of the space in yourselves. We talked about safety in science class, bringing that outside of the classroom. It's been cool.
Yeah.
What about you?
I feel like I wanted to try and bring more community in this year, and it's been hit and miss. So I think I started off early trying to get the fifth graders moving around the school and interacting with fourth grade, and then as the year went on, more community within the fifth grade itself. I feel like we were pretty successful at building community, at least within the fifth grade. And
Right.
I think moving forward, I would like to try and expand that to the other grades as well, and sort of bringing them all.
Right. I know earlier this year, too, you spent some time doing community skills in class. How did that go?
a lot. It's kids serious with it, and I think a little bit more that become more a part of the routine.
Right.
But doing it to start and then not continuing with that trend, I think, was detrimental to it.
Yep, that makes sense.
Mhm.
I agree.
Yeah.
I wish I spent more time doing that part. This year started strong with that, but going into next year, I think I'd like to do more.
Yes.
Of that kind of thing.
I honestly think that we did a great job in a year where there were a lot of other things going on. We still were able to get kids really jazzed up about it, and that's not an easy thing to do. And all the students that were involved and have been involved or have been recognized for something have really enjoyed it and taken pride in it. And something that's organic. You can't drop that in. That has to start organically and grow outward. So I think we did a really good job.
I think we started off really strong and had really good ideas and passion to get things going. And I think the last couple of months it sort of slowed down because we've been trying to show off the work that we had done in the past rather than continuing to build on what we were working with. So I feel like that's often how school years end up going, is you start with a lot of gas and then it starts to peter off at the end because of the everything. And so I feel like that's sort of just a pattern that continuously repeats itself. So I don't know how I would change that, but it's something that I've noticed.
I think that if we had a way to start bringing other people into the work sooner, then I think we might not have lost as much momentum, because then it wouldn't just be, oh, fifth grade is doing it. Fifth grade, what are you doing? Show us. And then we had all of that. We would have other grade levels or pieces of grade levels that could also be part of it and kind of showing off what they're doing. So it wasn't always just fifth grade. I think that might have been part of what it was, is that it was always come back to us. So.
Right. I think that the current fifth graders should be teaching the sixth grade teachers what we did this year. Show them the stuff that we worked on and have those teachers continue on that work while we do the similar things with the current fourth grade. That way they continue working and getting more comfortable with all the aspects of the portrait while we're getting the fourth graders up, and then we can blend them together. Have the current fifth grade work with the current fourth grade and both grow in that way and build that community across grades.
I concur.
I like that.
I think that's a good idea. I think giving us as team time to co-plan things so that we can work together as an entire school rather than just our own little islands would be really helpful. And then I would also like to see more specific attention paid to that aspect of and sticking to it with the kids. So I think community circles, that would have been really helpful, but start that at the beginning of the year and continue it.
Right, and that's across the whole school.
Yes.
Consistency across the whole building would be really helpful. Yeah.
And even though sometimes it feels like it's something that belongs at the elementary school, having that closing meeting at the end of the day, I think would have made it a less painful experience.
Right. Let's all feel silly together.
Yes.
Yep. Absolutely.
Exactly.
I think we just have to keep doing what we're doing. And the natural progression of this is that those fifth graders go on and continue to be sort of the original spokespersons, and then we do the same thing we did with the fifth graders with the new fifth graders, and we continue to build it that way. I think it's fine for us to reach out into the older grades as well, but I feel our best is to start at the very core with that 5th grade group, and every year just continue to make them that be their big thing for the year. They're learning about the portrait to it. One thing I'd like to say, I'd like a shameless plug in for my 5th grade team, who had no idea what we were doing and showed up, and they did the work, they did all the things, and they've really been amazing. So, shameless plug for my teachers.